A great, responsive mouse that feels good in your hand is crucial if you're playing a PC game, which is often the case. This ensures that you're playing at your absolute best. A subpar mouse adds acceleration, adds latency, or even tracks badly. In casual games, that would be a nuisance, but in intense online combat, the extra time spent aiming may mean the difference between winning and losing. Sit back, relax, like and comment if you find value from the video. 1. Razer DeathAdder V2. The best gaming mouse for the majority of PC gamers. Specifications: DPI 20, sensor, optical interface, USB buttons, 6 ergonomic, right-handed weight, 82 grams battery life, and reasons to buy. Plus one of the best sensors available. Plus ideal shape for palm or claw grips. Plus supports a variety of hand sizes. Reasons to avoid. Buttons on the flimsy side. The DeathAdder Elite, one of the greatest gaming mice, has been available since 2016 in a variety of forms. The Razer DeathAdder V2 builds upon everything we love about the DeathAdder Elite. The Focus Plus optical sensor, which is also found in the superb Razer Viper Ultimate Wireless, is the most noticeable upgrade. I'll explain why I was more impressed by the subtler modifications Razer made to the V2 in a moment. The scroll wheel is the first. A new design from Razer is called Instinctive Scroll Wheel Tactility, which sounds absurd, but the results are excellent. The tightness is just ideal. Although it spins smoothly, you can still feel every turn's notch, so that you don't unintentionally scroll too much. It may seem unimportant, but the fact that Razer is utilizing a new wire with the same ludicrous moniker of SpeedFlex cable turns out to be a big matter. Since I've been using the DeathAdder for so long, my only concern is that, depending on how it's positioned on my desk, the stiffer wire can occasionally pull the mouse to one side. The V2's wire is the most flexible I've found on a gaming mouse. So even if you're careless with wire management like I am, it won't likely affect how your mouse moves. Additionally, the left and right mouse buttons are stronger than the Elite. They employ an infrared light beam to register clicks rather than a mechanical mechanism. Thus, they should provide fewer false clicks, have less delay, and last longer, compared to the 50 million clicks for the DeathAdder Elite. Razer estimates that they will survive 70 million clicks. They felt as responsive as I could possibly require, and I never clicked incorrectly, despite the fact that I am unable to determine how accurate that figure is. I never had to worry about unintentionally shooting a shot when playing Escape from Tarkov or Fortnite. The sensor is Razer's party trick, and its specifications are included in parentheses for comparison with those of the DeathAdder Elite. It tracks at speeds of up to 650 inches per second and 20,000 dpi, CPI, and its resolution accuracy is 99.6%. Those higher numbers might or might not mean anything to you because they won't have a significant impact on performance on a daily basis. How frequently should you exceed 16,000 dpi, CPI? Hardly ever. The left and right mouse buttons, on the other hand, are a little fragile, continuing a trend in more recent Razer mice. When you click them on straight, they seem good, even strong, but the smallest sideways pressure causes them to waggle off center. I get the impression that they couldn't take much. 2. Logitech G203 LightSync. The best cheap gaming mouse. Specifications: DPI 8, sensor, optical interface, USB buttons, 5 ergonomic, right-handed weight, 85 grams battery life, and reasons to buy. Plus an affordable bargain. Plus great shape for those who like smaller mice. Plus 3-zone RGB lighting. Reasons to avoid. Feature light. Less DPI granularity. You're not alone if the Logitech G203 LightSync seems familiar to you. Despite the fact that this mouse is relatively new, it functions almost exactly the same as the G203 Prodigy that came before it. The G203 LightSync belongs to a fiercely contested class of cheap gaming mice. Razer is the biggest threat to it, offering the DeathAdder Essential, Basilisk Essential, and Viper Mini at this price range or close to it. The G203 LightSync, however, is strong enough to stand on its own. With a straightforward design that only includes the necessities, it capitalizes on a subtle aesthetic flair that isn't as strong elsewhere. The G203 LightSync is a wired mouse if you're seeking for light speed, in search of a wireless rodent. Instead, LightSync designates how well this mouse works with the Logitech G software and RGB lighting system, which can synchronize RGB lighting effects across all compatible Logitech products. The fact that non-LightSync goods can also interact with such apps to varied degrees is somewhat perplexing. The thin strip that runs across the back of the palm rest contains the 3 lighting zones, with the logo above matching the color of the center RGB lighting zone. While independent control of the logo itself would have been wonderful, the option does enable stunning tricolor gradient effects that move from one side of the mouse to the other. The thin strip that runs across the back of the palm rest contains the 3 lighting zones, with the logo above matching the color of the center RGB lighting zone. While independent control of the logo itself would have been wonderful, The option does enable stunning tricolor gradient effects that move from one side of the mouse to the other. You can create something rather lovely for $40 if you combine this with the G203 LightSync's slightly modified white and gray choice. That's correct. The only other distinction between the G203 LightSync and its predecessor is the addition of a gray scroll wheel reserve as opposed to the industry-standard black scroll wheel reservation. Black previously adopted. While I can't predict how it will look in 5 years, I can tell you that it looks absolutely lovely right out of the box because I chose the white one for the test and made this review. Expect the G203 LightSync to have a design with 2 buttons located underneath where your right thumb's pad would normally be. The Logitech G203's otherwise universal design has an unexpected shortcoming in that these aren't removable or switchable to the other side. Nevertheless, it has a straightforward design that Logitech appropriately refers to as tried and true. With the exception of the largest 4 Kelvin monitors, the G203 has identified gaming grade sensors 200 and 8,000 range more than sufficient. However, in that case, you might want to look for something a little grander than the G203. The sensor performs flawlessly in mouse sensor tests and is more than adequate for fair and reliable gaming. With each iteration of the G203, Logitech is unwilling to reinvent the budget-conscious gaming device, which may indicate a calm confidence in the features it's bringing to the more cheap end of its extensive mouse line. Even if the G203 LightSync's improvements are minor, they may make for a materially brief evaluation, but will also not eager to switch. 3. Razer Naga Pro. The best thermal specifications. DPI. 100 sensitive laser focus plus optical sensor interface. Wireless USB. Bluetooth button. 3 swappable side plates with 18-19 plus programmable button version. Right-handed weight. 117 grade battery life. 150 inch glass. Reasons to buy. Plus customizable thumb grip with 3 different button weights. Plus Razer mouse charging dock along with the battery. Reasons to apply. Shopee and Apple. For years, the Razer Naga Trinity has been our top pick for MOD games on our list of the best gaming mice, but the Razer Naga Pro is the new kid on the block. For Razer Hyperspeed wireless and Bluetooth connectivity, the Naga Pro is a way. Additionally, it detects optical mouse switches in the excess of 20,000 dpi sensor. Naga Pro's overall style is similar to the Trinity, but it is more weight to account for the additional technology. The Naga Pro is 7mm wide, 117 grams heavier than the Trinity, but it glides over most surfaces easily because of its 100% DPI. The larger mouse requires more hands to assume the full grip, which takes some getting accustomed to. It is simpler to grip onto thanks to the curved mouse buttons and the rest of the microphone. Non-linear grip smooth textured grip are also beneficial. I like Razer's optical mechanical switches since they are extremely quick and use light instead of mechanics to register clicks. The switches have a lifespan of 70 million clicks and are sturdy, but the Naga Pro also contains a ton of other buttons. You can remap the 2, 6, and 12 buttons on the 3 interchangeable plates however you choose. In Razer Synapse, remapping buttons is a simple point-and-click process. You may alter DPI levels, polling rates, lift-offs, battery management, and of course, Razer Chroma lighting. You can also configure anything from simple keyboard shortcut bindings to complicated gaming macros. Obviously, if your experience is jerky, none of this matters. The Hyperspeed wireless, thankfully, does not let down. I was really impressed with vsynctester.com, which I used to swiftly measure lag. The speed of the cursor's response to your mouse movements is measured during the test. The wireless connection of the Naga Pro managed 6.1 ms while I was recording 6 ms in wired mode, a difference of 0.1 ms. Only a keen eye would detect the 4.6 ms slower Bluetooth in normal use. The Razer Focus Plus 20,000 dpi sensor with 650 EPS tracking has also been updated for the Naga Pro's optical sensor. I can only print at 8,000 dpi, which is significantly more than most people will ever require. Battery life is a valid concern given all this scientific wizardry, but Razer's claim of a 150-hour battery life holds true. I've been using this review unit for the past week, using it an average of 14 hours per day, and the battery is still only around 35% full. That required a lot of effort, gaming, and switching between Bluetooth and wireless. To be quite honest, except from the absence of a dock, I have no serious complaints with the Naga Pro. The speed, accuracy, and versatility of this new Razer Naga Pro will appeal to the discriminating.